Okay, I'm going to be putting in a junction box here in this crumbly old stone wall. In crumbly old stone like this, expansion bolts just don't stay in. They fall right out. I don't even buy them anymore. I'm sure in newer concrete they have their uses, but in this crumbly old stuff, including crumbly old brick, they just do nothing. So you can see the hole that I drilled there, and it was very easy to drill because it's crumbly old stone. Took like 2 minutes to drill it, quite literally. And here is my peg. Here's my expansion bolt. It's a wooden peg. It starts a little less than it's a half-inch hole. It's maybe 5/8 at the end there. So then we take a paste epoxy. This is Total Boat's fairing compound. They also make a polyester putty that dries quickly, but it's you have to wear a gas mask with it. It's much like Bondo. I'm sure Bondo would work for this as well. My favorite is Fasco's 110 epoxy. It's a bit stronger than this, and it's just a better material if you're going to spend a bunch of money on an epoxy putty. But this fairing compound is much less expensive, and it works just fine. It's very strong. So you put that on there, and then you ram it in the hole. And then I'm going to need a hammer to pound it in a little bit more. Now you can screw into it. And screwing into it is not a bad thing to do. You drill a hole, even if it cracks and splits as it expands, because it's going to expand with a big old screw in there. Like if you use a 3-inch drywall screw, it's gonna probably split the peg and all that. But that's okay. That just drives the epoxy further into the masonry, and I've used these to put up shelves. That would hold 100 or a couple hundred pounds. These are fantastic. My friend Charles Siegel thought of them, and once he showed me how they worked, I never looked back. I mean, I've hung pieces of furniture that would have been impossible to hang on the wall without these, with expansion bolts, because once again, it's crumbly old masonry, and it just won't hold an expansion bolt. You can try them, but this is going to save you a lot of money. You can get, you can get a can of Bondo for not a lot of money, and you can get a small thing of the 110 epoxy or the fairing compound or the polyester. This is much more affordable, and in the end, once you have the epoxy or the putty, you use so little of it, it'll last you, if this is all you're using it for, it'll last you a year. It's a big money saver, and it works every time flawlessly. I turned this peg on my lathe, mostly for the video. You can carve them out of a piece of wood. Just make sure it fits in there snugly. That's the most important thing. Okay, there's my junction box. I used one 4-inch screw, which I'm sure grew the peg and maybe even cracked it, but it is in there so solidly I couldn't pull it out now, even before the epoxies has set. So I don't know how you get that on there with an expansion bolt. You certainly can't screw into them, and you'd have to figure out some kind of elaborate system or drill a new hole into the junction box itself. This is the way to go. I mean, it was easy. It took 15 minutes, and it's on that rock wall, and it's never coming off. So happy building.